Welcome back. Inspiration Education, episode
29.
Woo!
I know, can you believe it? It's crazy. This week's episode, we've come up with a great title for this one. We're really excited.
Yeah, bring preschool to your classroom.
You say, I am a high school teacher. How can I do this?
Right, or middle school or something like that, right?
Oh, we're so excited to show you this one.
But we don't mean bring the littles to your room, although maybe that's an option.
Yeah.
What we mean is, we're always trying to advocate that you go out and you observe your colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
And, but not just necessarily at the high school level or in your own discipline, but we want you to go and observe your colleagues at all different levels. And so this episode is bringing you into preschool for observation so that
you can, well, there's so many reasons, but a huge one at our preschool, it follows a philosophy of inquiry, student-centered learning, differentiation, but it's a safe place where kids can just learn at their own rate, pace, where they have, and here's the key thing, wonder and delight. You're going to just see this spirit of wonder and delight, this safe place to make mistakes, not know everything, not know the answer. And when you observe, start looking for those things. And so we're posing to you that this is a gift to see this in action and to bring that into your own room. Why do our students lose wonder and delight at one point?
I know.
What happens? What do we do as teachers in succeeding grades where that joy of learning perhaps even disappears? What's causing that?
And that they've lost their wonder and delight at the high school level because they trod into school, or
just
you
look at
hear
their body
them
language,
complain, or blah, 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 and they're not like, what are we learning about today? And that kind of thing. If they're not that way when they get to your classroom, that they've lost their joy and their delight and their wonder in learning. Maybe not necessarily in your classroom, but maybe it was because of something that happened in another class before they got to your classroom. And so we want to bring that back in.
All right, so we're really encouraging you just to love and enjoy this, and perhaps it will spur some sort of idea in your mind of like, okay, how can I really bring the joy of learning back to my class? Again, don't forget to collaborate. Don't forget to talk to people and begin thinking about ways in which you can bring that student-centered aspect back into it, where kids can direct the learning. You're gonna be thrilled.
Yeah, you're gonna see students-driven education. You're gonna see collaboration, closures, anticipatory sets. I mean, the whole
Targets.
9 yards. It's all here in preschool, which just blew my mind when I saw that. So look for ways. So here is an observation opportunity for you. We're bringing it to you right in maybe the comfy, cozy couch of your living room, and observe, and then figure out ways in which you can use this in your own classroom.
Right. Our episode this week is going to end a little differently. Oftentimes we come back and we talk, but Cassie interviews the lead teacher for our preschool. She's the one who's put in tons and tons of time and effort developing the curriculum, again, in collaboration with her peers there. So props to all of them. She's really passionate and articulate about the particular model that we use in our preschool.
Yeah,
so
there's no way that we could have closed this episode any better than she did. So.
Exactly. So enjoy. You guys brought to tears, brought to laughter.
You will. You'll cry and you'll laugh in this episode.
Okay, so enjoy.
Enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
Yahoo.
Bye.
Oh, Maddie, you're back. Maddie, you're back today. Maddie, she's just getting here. Oh, this is nice. Quiet up. I'm putting water. Do you know what this reminds me of? Yeah, you can put it in the water. Wow. It looks like his head.
Can I borrow this later when you're done? I have an idea.
All right, so you can continue that.
You know what it makes me think of? When I
Hey, N, take this part away.
get to draw,
You take this part
when
away.
I add water to it, it makes wet, and you just
There, Take that far away. Done.
It's easier to play with clay when it's dry or wet. I think it's. You can also talking about things that have a high point and a low point. Do you remember the name for that?
A ramp.
A ramp. So here, you can use these materials to make an inclined plane. Do you remember what that's a fancy word for? Inclined plane is our big science word for what?
A ramp.
A ramp. So you may take these. I have tape if you need to fasten it together. And you can create any kind of ramp you want. When you feel like you are ready to test it, I have spheres here. Okay?
It has baby drops on the heel. It has baby drops right here. When the camel finally get imploded. And to the some cars can land on their wheels when they are going off the ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good job. How about this one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we don't let the spiders fall. And if you let the bugs fall like that, that means they fall. Get the bugs. You're supposed to find the right letter to go in the same one, like this. P to P. Then I can go to another set. Oh, let's look in the letter Y box. Yeah. Yo-yo. Yeah. Yo-yo. You look like a grown-up, but it's actually a baby.
What are you guys doing?
Reading.
Reading? Is this the reading center?
Yeah.
What are you reading?
This is the library.
Oh, this is the library. Oh. What's your favorite book over here?
That.
There's the camera. Look at her. You can see her.
Can I feel it?
Yeah, now you sit down and she can see.
You know what this is?
A camera.
No way, you knew that?
Well, when everybody wants to buy some flowers, then they need me to check out. So anybody can.
Oh, this is the flower shop. And which one is your favorite flower?
Roses and tulips.
Oh.
Roses and tulips. This is for my mama.
Look at that. Good job.
Those are the best car wash that anybody ever seen.
The best car wash?
This is my best car wash.
Hey, what's the fish's name?
I can turn my engine. The engine is here, and this is all the food. You know what? Please get off my crap. Hello? We're making recipes.
You're making recipes? From this book?
Yeah, recipes are like we're cookers.
Oh, and what would you like to make today?
I think we can make those. Well, we're building a new car wash. Do you like that? Do you like that, this sir? That's baby food. That's your cooking. Look at my big baby. Try to clean it up.
It's always good to clean up your mess, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
High five. Thank you for cleaning up.
Ooh. Wow. Look how much. Look at how much it's doing. This is gonna be forgetful. But that's gonna be reading. Whoa, this is very carefully. Very carefully. Look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did.
Okay, so I have with me here today, this is Ashley Lyons. She works at our preschool, and we have the little kiddos behind us. They're so cute. When I first walked in here this morning, I noticed that the kids had a photo of themselves on a table or whatever the place was that they were to be. It was like you had pre-planned that. And the students, I watched them come in, they wrote their name, like they followed the letters of like a little card, wrote their name, and then it was like the student walked straight, and little preschooler walked straight to like look, and she found her name, and she's like, what am I supposed to be doing here? And then you guys walked her through that, and it was just like, it was so cool. It was like they were empowered to, you've taught them how to start their day and give them that, and yet they're learning something like the moment they walk in the door.
Yes, so it definitely takes conditioning. The first month is definitely walking them through the step-by-step of what we expect when they come in, so that they know when they cross that threshold into the preschool world that they know exactly what to do. They have their morning responsibilities, because life has responsibilities, and this is what they can do. And we give them that confidence. You can do this. Then the photo cards we actually stole from kindergarten, from Miss Thigpen.
Okay.
Claudia had gone over there to observe and saw this great idea on helping them self-regulate, and that was to, if they have their photo and they need to use the bathroom or get some water, or if they need some one-on-one time with the teacher, they can leave their card there, and another friend knows this person's coming back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And Claudia came back and she's like, this is perfect, we can implement this here, and it works so well. And we start out with them at a table just because it's early in the morning, and when you're 4 and there's a lot of things to choose from, sometimes it's hard to make that first choice.
Sure. It's hard for me to make decisions first thing in the morning.
So we start them out somewhere, and at the end of the previous day, at our closing circle, I asked them what their favorite thing was and why, and where did they not get a chance to explore.
Wait,
and
you're doing closure in
yeah, it's like their
preschool.
exit question. Like, you know, what did you like the best? Really think about it. And then what did you not get a chance? So, and they know this question is coming, so they can tell me, like, I didn't get a chance to go here, and I would like to. And I usually take out a couple options, write it down, so then when I'm preparing for the next day, those kiddos that didn't get a chance to go wherever, that's where their picture starts.
That must make them feel so empowered.
I would hope so.
I told my teacher this, and then I'm seeing the results of that
I would
immediately.
hope so. And everything that they say in every question,
That's incredible.
we ask, I want them to know that I genuinely care what they have to say, and I take that seriously. And Claudia does the same thing. Like, we want them to know that their words have power, and we're listening. And they can also tell us what they did not like and why. And that's also important, because that's how we can then change what we have set out.
So this is a bilingual preschool. How does that work?
Claudia. She's amazing.
Who's back here, by the way?
Yeah.
And I think she's getting ready to start it, right?
Yes, we are in the afternoon portion of our 4- and 5-year-old program, which is a heavier end of the bilingual program. So they primarily just speak Spanish in the afternoon.
But I noticed when I was in here this morning, there was lots of questions and conversations in Spanish.
Yes, they can answer questions in Spanish. They're singing the alphabet in Spanish. But even cooler is that in the morning, Claudia will ask them questions in Spanish. How is your mom? Where is your sister? What's the weather today? All in Spanish, and
Right.
they will answer in Spanish.
Right. Well, and studies show that the younger you are, your brain is still making those connections and firing and that kind of thing. And so if you're learning a language younger, you're more apt to retain it and to learn faster. Like, they're going to learn Spanish a million times faster than if I ever tried to pick that back
I'm
up.
learning it just being in the classroom a whole lot better. And what I love is one day Claudia was doing a little bit of English and a little bit of Spanish, and one of our girls was like, just say it all in Spanish, and if we get it, we get it. And so we're like, okay. And I mean, with so much, action with her verbiage, like, they get it. Or they don't, but then a friend can come in, then we can say, would you like help from a friend? Ask a friend. And they can ask for help.
Which is great collaboration. They're learning that in preschool too.
Yeah. And it's okay to not know. And we say that. It's okay to not know. It's okay to say, I don't know, or I need help, or I need a little more information.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what I love, because it takes down the barriers and that guard that comes up of, like, I'm supposed to know. No, you don't have to know.
No.
You're not supposed to know.
No.
I don't know. And I'll tell them too, and what I love is, like, I can tell them all the time. I said, I don't know. And they'll be like, you don't know? I'm like, I don't know it. I don't know it.
What a great mentor you are and role model to be able to be comfortable in saying, I don't know. Let's find out together.
So then I have to ask Miss Claudia, ¿Cómo se dice? And then I can ask my question, and the kids love that because they think it's, or the kids that know it, then are kind of like, she didn't know it.
So how long have you been working in the preschool setting?
I think this is my 8th year, I think. I never can remember.
So for sure we can call you a veteran in this field.
Which is weird.
Isn't
But
that?
yeah. So, okay.
So over your time in preschool, what are some things that you feel like are super important that we do well with these kiddos so that they can grow to be successful adults, or even just moving into the next level of education?
I think it's simply just slowing down, that they can see their importance. And we say a lot when we're praying and how we're just talking to God, that no matter what you have to say, God finds those words important, and He is going to listen. And here in this family, your words are important. And I think for me that is a big...
Well, that seemed like a really emotional thing that you just had right there. Why is that so important to you?
It is because I remember my preschool years, and I remember having the best time, but I also remember not having the best childhood, like coming from a divorced family. And so you see, I think having lived through different situations and then having my own children, I've always known and wanted children to have the best preschool years that they can. And if we can provide that here in a safe place with a biblical foundation, that just, I mean, like, my heart is racing because not everyone gets to experience that. And so I feel here, I just want all of us to do everything we can to allow them to experience the life God has given to them.
Wow.
And the world He has created. And because it's beautiful, and they are beautiful, and we make these beautiful messes. And I think it just comes back to, like, we're a beautiful mess.
I was just going to say that very.
And, like, there's just so much value in a child. I just want them to be able to squish their toes in the mud and
just experience life. And I saw that today, this morning, when I came in. This just seemed like such a safe place to have fun, and for them, they're just having fun, but secretly they're learning something. Okay, so I was over on the carpet this morning, and you said such and such is a fancy word for, and they were making the angles so that they could roll the marbles down. What was that one?
Inclined plane.
Inclined plane in preschool.
Yeah, I love Fancy Nancy books because then I can do that here.
What's Fancy Nancy books?
It's like a little girl who uses fancy words, but she's always saying, she'll say, this is fancy for. So I can let the kids know, like, pliable is a fancy way of saying you can move it easily.
If you could speak to maybe folks out there who are working in the preschool or getting ready to start working in the preschool, what would be like something that you could tell them, like, please do this well?
I would say you need to go to a website called Fairy Dust Teaching.
What's this?
And so the name itself is what drew me to the website several years ago, before I was introduced to the Reggio Emilia philosophy. And this website has so many tangible and ideas. She has a blog, she has courses you can take on just how to allow children to be children. And that is how we've driven our curriculum.
What does it take behind the scenes to make this? Because I'm telling you what, I came in this morning and my mind was blown. I mean, you want to talk about prepped and ready to go.
And we didn't know she was coming.
They had no idea I was, and I didn't know that
I
they
didn't
didn't
know this was going to happen right now.
And I mean, the place, I was just like, can I be in preschool? I want to play too. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
What does it take to do that?
I mean, I think just with any teacher here, I know, I would hope any teacher anyway, we are very intentional and we really do it for the kids. Like, so we've just taken all of the notes and documentation over the past few weeks. We collaborate together on what has worked, what are we noticing, what would we like to introduce, what do we want to take to that higher level, you know, what are our themes right now. And so that's what we do. And then we take some ideas from Pinterest, we go to Fairy Dust Teaching, we take some of our own collaborations, we'll lay it out, I'll get some feedback, what do you think? Like even just with the caterpillars, you know, the question was, the statement was, I can see what I draw. And I had the paper on metal trays. And we go down to the very, like, what looks better? Like, what looks aesthetically pleasing, so that and then I'll stand at the door and I'll walk in like a kid and I get down and I go through their routine, and then it's like, okay, would I stop here?
Wow.
No,
You're
is boring.
Kidding.
Like, otherwise, I mean, we have to, because it makes our day easier if they're engaged. And I mean, if they're, but I love to do it. I can tell. It is like just emulating out of you how much you love this. It's like, we don't do it for the money. And I think any teacher here would say that.
Amen, sister.
I mean,
we don't. We do it for our kids.
Yeah,
they are our kids.
Yeah.
They really are. When they walk through that door, you're mine.
Yes. And I always tell parents, like, in orientation, like, it takes a few weeks. I mean, for a while I like them, but by the end of the year, like, I love them, like, as our own. And so we do it for them.
When I was leaving this morning, Pam up at the front desk said, hey, if you've seen anything that you'd like to give us some feedback on so that we can improve, because we're always wanting to improve, would you please let us know? And I thought, you're asking me. I'm a high school teacher. I'm the last person you want to ask.
You're also an unbiased opinion. You're kind of an outsider. And so it's like, hey, I noticed this, but I don't know why. Is that, because I think we feed off of that constructive criticism. We're always wanting, we're lifelong learners,
Absolutely.
So we always want to strive to be the best in what we do. And we know God has gifted us to be here. And we just want to make sure that He is speaking through us in what we do. And so I think we just want to make sure that if you saw something that wasn't Christ-like, or if you saw something that you're doing that, hey, maybe you could try it. It's like, hey, let's try it.
Okay, you and the whole preschool team are incredible people.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.